And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here, right next to the Liberty here at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego, and we have the man from the Liberty, Captain Taro. Takeuchi is here. We're going to be talking some serious fishing here on Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the mightier 1090 ESPN radio. The essential tool in your fishing arsenal is fishdope.com. It's such a bargain when you can get the current dope on what's biting and where. Prices have not gone up in many years, but now it's time. Starting January 1st, the full year membership goes up to $199. Still a super bargain for all you get. But if you renew your membership before the end of the year, no matter how much is left on your current membership, you can get the current price, saving you $30. If you're new to Fish Dope, use the code Hookup now and save $30. Fishdope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Fishdope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. So take advantage of this special offer, add another year to your membership, and save $30 through December. Or new members, just use the code Hookup now and save. Check it out. Fishdope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel. In San Diego, the future belongs to everyone. So Ford engineered the truck of the future for everyone, the Ford F-150, available with a Pro Power onboard generator. What a great addition for anglers. There's also a variety of cab configurations for whatever you need to haul. The truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's created for us who love the ocean and the outdoor life. Ford F-150. Test drive one at your local San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
For quality, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. The quality of the captains and crew, as well as the great meals and service, speak for themselves. Comfortable staterooms, a super clean and well taken care of boat are just a few of the reasons the Islander is so popular. The Islander specializes in 1.5 to 5 day fishing. Experience the Islander difference. Visit IslanderSportFishing.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. What a fun day today going to be, having Captain Taro in here, talking fishing, talking Liberty. Today's a great day, man.
Yeah, good morning, Taro.
Good morning, guys.
Great to have you.
Beautiful day.
Yeah, it is. The clouds are moving away, and back to our sunny Southern California weather here.
Yeah,
ready
sunny in December.
The again drastically overshot weather forecast of San Diego. Oh, we're going to get 5 inches of rain. It's going to be it's the atmosphere.
Rain for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it rained for like 15 minutes in my house, and it's like nice out again already.
Yeah, for sure. But and really not. I mean, other than just like during that thunderstorm, a lot of wind for that. But then it kind of went away.
It just kind of went away.
Was that big of a deal?
A couple hours for people to get some videos of some lightning.
Exactly.
And that's about it.
Pick the lawn chairs back up.
So the big question is, what's it going to do to the offshore water?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not. We don't know.
Yeah,
because it's been unusually warm, right?
Yeah, very, very warm, and it seems like the few guys that have been fishing the last 3 or so weeks, they've been seeing bluefin and catching bluefin. So we all know that those things don't really care as long as there's food.
Yeah, that's the key, is the food. And but you've been tied to the dock doing a lot of work on the Liberty, right?
We've been doing a little bit of work. We've been having more fun than doing work.
Yeah.
We've been having some time off, and get to spend it with the family during the holidays, and more so for me has been hanging out with the kid and going fishing and
catching bass with that kid.
Catching some bass.
Yeah, we got to see some great video. Catching of like a 4-pounder, you said?
Yeah. He's on winter break from daycare, so we've been spending some time at the lake and being outside while it's been dry. So
Yeah.
it's been fun.
And how old is your young man?
He's 2.
2, and he
Yeah.
already has a fishing rod in his hand.
He's got a little Zebco spin cast reel and an ice fishing pole for the living room, and he's practicing, which I hope everyone else is practicing too. So
Yeah.
during the off season, sticking with the fundamentals.
Yeah, because our off season's short these last few years.
Oh, it's been short. Yeah, you gotta stay. You have to stay on top of your game.
So can he actually cast at 2? Come on.
He can cast a spin cast clear across the living room
Wow.
with a little slip bobber.
No kidding.
Yep.
That's cool.
I don't know where he got it from, but
Yeah, I wonder, right? I wonder.
Gina must be really good that way. Like,
she definitely stays out
like
of
the angler.
Yep. He definitely gets it from his mom.
That's cool. So tell us about the Liberty and
Yeah.
and what's the season and your runs and such.
Every year it seems like the season's been going by a lot faster than the year before. Holy smokes! It's already Christmas time, but we've had our daily full day trips of 5:30 in the morning to 5 throughout the whole year, and we've been throwing in more of these day and a half to 2-day trips. Just taking advantage of the bluefin fishing and the offshore fishing that we've had the last multiple years. But our daily is a 5:30 to 5 trip, and we fish within 50 miles if we can. For whatever's biting. So that's kind of the cool thing is we get to go wherever the fish are biting, whether it's the Coronado Islands or offshore fishing, which has been great the last I don't know how many years now, but that's our main run is a full day trip from 5:30 in the morning to scheduled back at 5. But those of you that come out fishing with us know that sometimes we go a little past that, but we have the opportunity to do more also going up to a 2-day trip, overnight charters and day and a half charters. And when the fishing gets a little bit different and out of the full day range, we're able to go on some longer ones because of our overnight accommodation. So
that's what's so cool about your brand of fishing and that Liberty is, it's a 2-day offshore RSW fishing boat that happens to run full day trips. The level of comfort, when that boat came online and you guys put so much work into it, it was something completely different than what has been here. The level of comfort that you guys offer on a trip that short and the level of food and service and it changed things.
Yeah, we're very versatile. That's what I love about our boat is we're very versatile. We could fish right out front here for calico bass, or we could go 150 miles and go catch tuna.
Totally.
Yeah.
So that's what is great about our boat and great about our crew is they're knowledgeable to do all that.
Yeah.
And we're able to adapt throughout the season to keep up and fish and catch stuff. So
and what's cool too is if you're coming down from LA or Orange County or wherever and you want to do that 5 to 5 and you get up at 2 in the morning to come do it, you can grab a bunk.
You can grab a bunk and
grab some rest on the way out and the way back. Right?
Yep, there's plenty of room in our bunk in our bunk room to sleep 36. So we on our full day trips we max out at 40. So there's an opportunity for 36 guys to have a bunk, and obviously the giant galley for a handful of guys to take a nap or hang out if they want. But there's plenty of room for everybody to take a nap on the way down and also on the way out and then also on the way home.
We're so used to saying down, but a lot of it was out.
A lot of it was out west.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned Coronado Islands, and of course that's kind of what you guys build a lot of that full day.
A lot of the full day fishing. Yeah.
But not a lot of Coronado Islands this year.
No, it's been kind of weird the last few years. It hasn't been a coastal fishery.
Yeah.
But we're hoping that cycles back around because yellowtail fishing is what we love and what the crew loves and what San Diego local fishing is known for, is
Sure.
that yellowtail fishing and inshore fishing. But we've been blessed with this offshore fishing for sure, and we'll take it.
Yeah, I was going to say, oh darn, we have to go catch bluefin
Yeah,
and
oh,
yellowfin.
darn, yeah.
You know, as close as 10 miles from home.
Yeah. Darn, we got to go catch more tuna fish.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you think? Is it just a cycle that
I believe
that,
so.
yellowtail are going through?
I the last few years we saw not this year, but the year before and the year before that, we saw really good kelp fishing for that nicer grade fish. So I think it's just cycles.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of go through their cycles, and you know, we all know about the albacores and their cycles, and
Sure.
yellowtail have their cycles, and yellowfin and bluefin. Every fish has their cycle.
So it's not a matter of there's no yellowtail around, because there's plenty of yellowtail around in different spots.
Yeah, I mean, you talk to some of the guys that drive down the Mexican coast on these longer trips, and they're seeing it and catching it. So it's just a matter of them finding us too.
Yeah, for sure. So on a typical day, let's say in May, June, what's kind of your deals? Like, you just kind of do the updates. You kind of try and do some research, find out where to go. You start driving the boat, and what do you say to the passengers?
I'd say the last few May or Junes we've been offshore fishing.
Yeah.
We've been blessed with bluefin close.
Yeah.
So May or June is early season kind of for our offshore scene. So it's every time we go offshore, it's a higher risk type of fishing because of our time frame.
Right.
There's guys that are out there at night.
It's a hit and miss.
Yeah. But if we hit, it's good and it's fun, and guys get to come back home and sleep in their bed the same day.
Pretty awesome.
But the risk is always there. But the last few May or Junes, there's been some very decent bluefin fishing days, and on that nicer grade fish too. The 30 to 50 pound fish, and
Sweet.
30 to 50 pounders again. But
last year, the earlier part of the season was incredible for just like everyone. I mean, you got numb to seeing a 40 or 50 pound bluefin. I mean, just numb to it. Like, this is what size they all are.
That's just and
perfect size for
oh my gosh, so nice.
And hopefully people have gotten accustomed to, like, oh man, that is what we're seeing, but holy smokes, that's a beautiful fish.
My God.
Yeah. Another 50 pounder, but that's a 50 pound fish on a full day trip. Like, you're going home tonight.
Yeah.
Go back not long ago. I mean, just go back a couple of years and think about what a big deal that fish is. And then for it to just become what comes over the rail every day on the Liberty, like, it's wild where we're at right now.
And then the chance at big ones too.
And then the chance of bigger fish too, yeah. And that early season, there's always a chance to catch a big one. And throughout the whole season, there's always a chance to catch a big fish, big meaning 100+ pounds. So we've been blessed with that right in our backyard. So
that's
cool.
So what's the schedule for Liberty? I know you're doing a little maintenance
we're
right
doing
now.
a little bit we're doing some little touch-up, some cosmetic stuff, just fixing a few things around the boat, and making it look nice again and ready to go. And we'll kind of see how this fishing plays out as far as weather too. We don't want to go out when it's raining and 25 knots. So we're just gonna wait to see, and hopefully by we're kind of shooting for Valentine's Day to be online to kind of slowly get going, and we'll see what the islands are looking like, and what Colonette is, and we have a few charters in March, and we'll kind of just see how things go.
Gotcha.
But looking in towards April and May is kind of when we start to really start peeking around to look to go every day. So mainly for us, it's going to be make sure we're ready by Valentine's Day, and hope that the weather cooperates, and Mother Nature brings some fish up the line. So
what is the condition that needs the yellowtail to bite? We've seen you guys over the years have really good wintertime yo-yo jig yellowtail fishing at the Coronado Islands. Like, what are the conditions it usually breeds at, or is it just up to the fish? I mean, is it up to the water? Is it up to the food?
Water and current conditions.
Okay.
That's been. I remember when I worked with worked with Booger, I mean, we were catching them in 58-degree brown, greenish, weird water, and it was good fishing.
Like on paper, some of the worst water.
On paper, it's just like, what are we doing here? But holy smokes, we're catching them, you know. And we've seen that in various areas around the coast. You look up the coast, there's guys catching them in weird, funky water too. But here, Coronado Island, Mexican coast, you typically want cleaner water, you know, and then nice current. Current is the big thing, and cleaner water, but it just all depends, you know. But those are the two main factors: is water to be decently clean, and current.
I think we get our head wrapped around so much, you know, on the not on the Taro side, but us as the anglers, we get so wrapped up into thinking purple blue and 72 degrees and bait and all those things. But yellowtail don't have to be that way. I mean, you guys have had some of the best scores of the years in wintertime yo-yo jig fishing. I mean, sometimes December it can be a tremendous time
too. Yeah, and even though it is a lot of work, that's some of the funnest fishing because one, the grade is usually pretty good because at wintertime fishing, they're fat.
You know, a lot of fat in them too.
A lot of fat in them, and they're delicious.
Yeah.
You know, they're usually feeding on some sort of squid or some sort of rockfish sometimes. So, and the main thing is having good conditions and finding them in the right places too. Okay. Yeah, you know, that deeper water is nice around the islands and down the coast, and that's why Colonette and down that way is nice around this time of year because that's, you know, where you usually see them. Mm-hmm. You know, that deeper water near some sort of rockfish.
Yeah, and the nice thing about here, based in San Diego, is that you can go rock fishing in February.
Yeah.
You start Valentine's Day on, is the season's closed in California waters until April 1st, right?
April 1st, I believe.
And so you can still go rock fishing in February, March.
You can take a 12, 13-mile trip down and make sure you have the proper paperwork, and you can still fill up the freezer.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of fun. Well, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for you today. Phones are already packed solid, and texts are flowing through right now. Taro's a popular guy.
No doubt about it, man. We're going to have a great time this morning talking fishing, having a great time doing it. If you want to get through, like Pete said, phones are all packed up right now, but there is going to be plenty of time over the next couple hours to get your questions in. It's 213-432-1090. Again, 213-432-1090 is how you reach us on the phones, or send us a text. Texting the show, so popular. Lots of great texts already coming through. And again, that's only available through the Let's Talk Hookup app. If you don't have it already, make sure you download the Let's Talk Hookup app. It's a great way to listen to all the archive shows. You can call in your questions via the app, and it's the only way to text in your questions to Captain Taro today. And it's going to be a great opportunity for you to win a killer prize at the end of the show today. And it's going to be available to either one lucky caller or one lucky texter at the end of today's show. Taro's going to flip a coin that'll designate whether the winner comes from the calling side or the texting side. And somebody's going to get to go fishing on board the Liberty with Captain Taro and the whole crew. Going to be an awesome opportunity for one lucky caller. We're going to be talking all things Liberty today, and you're going to get to go experience with, again, one lucky caller or texter going fishing on a full day trip on the Liberty at a Fisherman's Landing. Again, 213-432-1090. That's the phone number, or text us via the Let's Talk Hookup app. And if you're sending a text through, make sure you include your name and your contact info, because if you win that big prize, we want to make sure to get it to you. When we come back, we're going to be taking those calls and texts. You stay tuned. It's Southern California's sport fishing voice. This is Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
End the year with powerful deals on new Yamaha outboards during Yamaha's Why Wait for Spring sales event. From now until December 15th, 2023, purchase a new eligible Yamaha 4 50 to 30 horsepower outboard and get up to 7 years of warranty protection. Add a Siren 3 Pro package to your purchase of a 115 horsepower and up, and receive a bonus $1,000 in dealer credit and half off your Siren subscription. Looking for lower horsepower? Yamaha's got you covered. Purchase a new Yamaha 25 2.5 horsepower outboard and receive up to $300 in dealer credit. Visit your local Yamaha dealer. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Offer ends December 15th, 2023. Subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models excluded. 24-month Yamaha extended service added a 36 or 60-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered to Florida residents is a 24-month Yamaha limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
Hey, it's time to talk about a place that is always biting, and that's Point Loma Seafoods right next to the San Diego landings in Point Loma. Holiday time and a party tray from Point Loma Seafoods. You want to be the hero at your holiday party? Have them set up a party tray for you today.
Family is it. We were that exact same thing. We got a bunch of family in town for the holidays. Everyone see the new baby, and the first thing we got was, hey, can you make us that same shrimp that you made last time we were here? So right down to Point Loma Seafoods, picked up a couple pounds of shrimp and made it up, and their fish case was unbelievable. We also grabbed a bunch of smoked fish for a little party platter. It's so cool having a Point Loma Seafoods right in our backyard, right here at the landings. It's the best in town.
Yeah, winter, and they have this incredible case of fresh fish right there. And talk about their shrimp, their gourmet shrimp with their fantastic cocktail sauce.
Dude, we did that too.
You take that, and you're going to be a hero.
I bought a pound of the cooked gourmet shrimp for shrimp cocktails, and then a couple pounds of the peel and devane, and we made that up with some pasta, and everybody was just all time.
Smoked fish.
It's so good, dude.
But if you don't want to do it yourself, just call them up, order a party tray. They'll set it up the way you want it. Ceviche, smoked fish, gourmet shrimp, whatever you want. Sushi, all the sushi on that
Best
tray.
Best fish tacos in town, too.
Oh, yeah. Point Loma Seafoods right next to the San Diego landings in Point Loma.
Long-range fishing, nothing beats Shimano. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. Come check out the Shimano Talica, the pinnacle of lever drag 2-speed reels. The Talica features Shimano's Hagani body when throwing jigs. The Shimano Trinidad is your top choice. With the extreme cranking power and Shimano's Super Free Spool provides extreme castability. You'll be able to put your jig in the Wahoo zone. For all your Shimano needs, visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet. Fisherman's Landing offers half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day trips on the Liberty. Many trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
It's time for the Power Pro 30-second seminar. I like catching big fish, and I like smaller reels, too. How do I make sure that I have the capacity to land the big one? I fill my reels with Power Pro Max Quattro. It's 25% thinner than standard Power Pro, so you get more line on that small reel. Power Pro has a complete series of highly effective lines, including the brand new Power Pro Depth Hunter Offshore, with different colors every 100 feet. Perfect for flatfall fishing. Want to learn more? Check PowerPro.com.
Hi, I'm Pat McDonald. Join me at California's premier outdoor recreation shows. The Bart Hall shows January 25th through the 28th at Long Beach Convention Center and February 15th through the 18th at the Del Mar Fairgrounds. Details at hallshows.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Phones are packed. Texts are piled up, dude. Today's going to be a great one.
Popular guy. Let's jump into the phones, Rick.
You got it, man. How about we started off this morning with Sam. He's called us from up in Irvine. Sam, thanks for getting us started here on Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning. Great show. Great talking there in the beginning. Hey, I went out with Taro last year, and on that trip we got, I believe it was 109 yellowfin tuna. I managed to limit out. The good thing, an amazing thing was, the first fish I hauled in, somebody behind me said, nice fish, and I looked behind me, it was Captain Taro. And then later on when I was fighting a fish, I go, hey, deep color, and somebody from behind me goes, professional fisherman right behind you, and it was Captain Taro again. So
he is pretty sneaky.
On it.
He is sneaky walking around.
Yeah, no, he Yeah, he was really on it that trip, and it was a fantastic trip. But my question is, this year, last year was big fish kind of early. What would you bring on your trips for, like, say, your first trips out there, go hunting around?
I think some of the standard gear is always to have a few fly line setups, actually have one for 25 or 30 pound tests if we see smaller grade fish and kelp fish, 25 or 30 pound fly line bait setup. It's always nice to have a medium setup, 40 or 50 pound test. And then earlier in the year for that bigger fish, 80 or 100 pound sinker rig setup, or which can double as your knife jig if they're biting jigs in the daytime. But those are your three basic setups that like you're probably going to need in the springtime, is a 25 or 30 pound, a 40 or 50 pound, and then a bigger rig of 80 or 100 pound test. And then what we have and recommend, is kind of just your basics, and you can always adapt from there. If you want to bring a couple extra rods, a jig stick or a 60 pound or something like that. But those are your basics.
You have a favorite 25 pound outfit?
Ooh.
Somebody shopping Christmas time?
Someone shopping for Christmas time. My favorite 25 pound is probably a Trinidad 14 or 16, depending on the size of hand for the person, and then a CalStar 270H.
Oh,
yeah,
good stuff there.
7 foot or 8 foot on that?
I'm a 8 footer because I feel like I can get a little extra distance. But that 7 foot is great too, so it doesn't hurt as much.
All right, good stuff. Hey, Sam, Merry Christmas. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. I have a great text from Alex in San Carlos on the same lines as what we were just talking about, but he wants to know, he says, Captain Taro, what are your must-have combos for those April-May Coronado Island trips? Is it along the same line?
Yes, absolutely. Along the same lines, 25 pound test, and that could... Most of these rigs you can double use, and they're versatile. 25 or 30 pound test, if we get some fly line fish, but that can also double as your shallow water rock fishing rod. If we fish shallower than 180 feet, you can use your 25 or 30 pound test. And then obviously you want to have a yo-yo rod.
Yes.
40, 50 pound test, and then a high speed reel, and a Shimano Talica 16 or a 12. I prefer the 16 because you can have more line, and come summertime, that's an awesome reel for your bluefin fishing when we're fishing 40 and 50 pound tests. So perfect. It doubles for your species, and then you can use it throughout the whole year.
I like that call so much on that Trinidad 14 too, on that lighter side, because that rig is still small enough that you can totally fly line for a calico bass or a barracuda. And then the next trip, it's also somehow the right rig for catching a yellowfin or a yellowtail or a dorado on a kelp. So you're investing money on a nice outfit, but that thing is going to cover some pretty serious span of duty.
Yeah. And as an option, if you don't want to spend the money on a Trinidad, you could go with the Torium 14HG, which, by the way, is one of our prizes for tomorrow's Christmas Spectacular.
Wow,
sitting
there you
right
go.
there.
I like
Torium 14HG up for grabs tomorrow on the classic.
The Christmas Spectacular.
This Christmas Spectacular,
all right.
For sure. Hey, appreciate the text. Rick, you have a good text?
I thought so for sure. And man, like you said, texts and phone calls both pouring through. This one's, good morning, fellas. I wanted to express my appreciation for Taro running an amazing operation and always putting a focus on kids. My father-in-law, Terry Snell, and I have had the pleasure of fishing with Taro since the early 2000s. So happy that he continues to have success and an amazing fisherman, husband, businessman, and father. Anibal, Sarah, and the boys took care of my grandson, Camden, on his first full-day trip this past July. I just want to wish you guys a happy holidays and talk about how much I love the Liberty. And all that was from Mark and La Quinta.
Mark and Terry are awesome. I've known them from the American Angler days. Yeah, those guys are great. We love fishing with them.
That's cool. Yeah, you have a lot of fans out there, Charles.
No
from
doubt.
Both back in the American Angler as well as the Liberty, for sure.
Well, the phones are still packed up. This time we're going to talk to Ed. He's calling us from Mira Mesa. Good morning, Ed. Welcome to the show.
Hi, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
What I was wondering, I want to get into the popper fishing and that, and I was wondering if you guys could help me on maybe picking out something and the colors and the size, and then also the line size that I'd want to use with that.
I would say the crew and myself, we have various reels and rods that we popper fish with, and the biggest thing for me is I have a 500 size reel.
Tranks?
Tranks, I'm sorry. I just totally went blank. But I have a Tranks, the higher speed reel, and the level wind thing is kind of cool because when you popper fish, you don't have to worry about having your line perfectly back on there. So that Tranks has enough guts and enough drag and gearing to, fight your fish. And that 500 size Tranks has been perfect for me, and I have that filled with 80-pound Spectra all the way to the brim, and I fish 80-pound mono, a little short piece of, probably 5 to 8 foot of 80-pound mono.
Something outside the guides.
So then my FG knot won't get stuck on the cast or get going through the guides.
Is that your go-to knot, the FG?
It's a confidence knot. I've learned and tied it pretty well, and that's the knot that I've learned. But you talk to anybody else, everybody might tie something completely different. But that's just what I have the confidence in, and what I feel I tie pretty darn good. So
one of the other things too is that in a previous show when you're here on Let's Talk Hookup, you talked about rock fishing, and your favorite reel for rock fishing is that Tranks 500.
Yeah.
So I went and got one and filled it up with 80-pound Max Quattro.
Yeah.
A little thinner diameter, 20% thinner. And you're right, that thing kills it for rockfish because
nice.
You don't have to worry about
you don't worry about nothing.
Yeah, don't have to, even deep water, right? You can still get enough line on there that you can fish deep water and don't have to worry about winding your line back on.
Let me confirm that really is the case. He's not just saying that. It was after Taro show and Pete came into the tackle store like, I'm getting one of these things. Filled it up and
filled it up with the right stuff.
From
works.
Rockfish to popper fishing, that reel's great.
Yeah, and it's got power. Ricky landed, what, a 200-pound bluefin on a Tranks 500?
Tranks 500, 189, almost. Not quite.
Wow.
We got a 200-pounder on popper, but that was on a Talica. But I got almost a 190 on a
190 on a Tranks.
Yeah. And then there's the popper thing with a Talica too. So it's kind of what your preference is, and then also the grade of fish too.
Yes.
So, but those clear poppers, those 150 size clear, has been the key the last multiple years.
But you want to make sure you get the higher speed one, right, Rick?
For popper fishing,
you don't really
not necessarily.
No, not necessarily.
High speed gear for almost everything else we do. The popper is probably where it makes the least amount of difference.
Yeah.
You're probably going to want to buy.
So you need to buy two?
Well, I was just going to say, you probably want to buy an HG because in addition to popper fishing, the higher speed gear ratio is going to be better for most of the other things that you do.
It's more versatile.
If you were if you were a Taro and you had a garage full of dedicated outfits to do one thing or another, that might be one of the few applications where the PG. So I fish the high gear on just about all of them, but I do have one rod and reel outfit just specifically for those, potential of having real big ones, and that I do have on the lower gear ratio Tranks, the PG.
Yeah.
But that's on a rod that only casts a real big popper. That's, in theory, if we're fortunate enough to see the grade of fish and we know what we're casting at, and I know that they're whatever you call it, 120 pounds and above, then I fish a Tranks 500 PG, the lower gear ratio, and a higher gear ratio for all the stick baits and other lures that we're turning the handle a little faster on.
So we know what the HG stands for, high gear. What does the PG stand for?
Power gear.
Power gear.
Power gear.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
Makes sense. Because it has more power because it's lower gear ratio.
Right? I know those northern guys, later in the summer and early fall, they were seeing a lot of that foamer fish, and you pull up to one foamer, all those are 40, 50 pounds. You pull up to the next one, it's like, oh my God, those are giant ones. So,
watch out.
Yeah.
Then what do you do, Taro?
If they're giant ones, I pray that everyone has the right gear.
You put the kite up.
Yeah, you put the kite up. But we did have one instance where a guy did hook one. One of our regulars, Jeff, he hooked like a 160, 170 on his tranks. Because I'm sorry, Jeff, but I thought they were 40, 50 pounders. But I mean, like, oh, dude, that thing's bigger. And then we had to splice it to a Talica.
Wow.
But it's like, oh, so man, rad. That's not a 50 pounder.
And dump the other one in?
No, we cut it. I think the handle on his tranks broke.
Oh.
Because it was a pretty big fish. And then so we waited a little while, and then we cut his line and spliced it to a Talica 20.
Brave.
Yeah.
Wow. While the fish is on the line,
while the fish is on the line,
somebody's hand line in the other side.
We got it wrapped on him. The guys are, our crew is pretty quick at tying knots.
That's badass.
And what knot would you tie to?
We just tied a uni to uni knot.
Back-to-back.
Yeah. And it's a common occurrence, especially during nighttime fishing, where fish go under the boat and it's hard to see and stuff. Like you get the fish on the other side, and all right, do you believe? Yes. Okay. Boom.
Here we go.
Boom. Done. Okay. Wind.
That's cool.
And a lot of times it works.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that is, like, if you were getting yourself prepared and you were getting ready to go catch a big fish, obviously you want to take every X factor you can out of it, and probably nobody would splice their spectra together ahead of time with a back-to-back uni knot, if you were going to prepare to go catch a big bluefin. But exactly as Taro's describing, like, when the S hits the fan and you need to do it, that thing holds fine.
Yeah, that thing holds great.
It'll work.
You're not going to break it ever. Like, that's just not going to be. It's just not going to be that's not going to be how you lose it.
Yeah. Especially later in the fight like that.
For a temporary fix for the day of fishing, great.
But when you go home, respool.
You want to take every precaution you can.
Yeah, when you go and get off the boat, respool your whole reel again.
Yeah, there you go. All right, you have a great text there, Rick.
I do. I thought this was cool, and it just kind of goes into all the things that Taro and the crew do for the fish. And it was from John and Mira Mesa. It says, "Hey Taro, you and I sat next to each other at a Fred Hall Show seminar with Robbie Gant, who was talking about the ikejime, and I was talking to you, and you had mentioned how you were interested in potentially applying that to their fish care on the Liberty. I know you come from the American Angler, which has a tremendous background in fish care. Can you give us a little rundown on what you guys do, and are you guys still considering using this process?"
The ikejime is quite the deal. Like, man, holy smokes, that like changes fish care.
It improves
it definitely works.
Yeah.
For us, we do our best and we bleed every fish. Most of the fish, 50 pounds, or all of the fish 50 pounds and up, and even some of the smaller ones on our longer trips will get gill and gutted. But every fish is bled. Every fish is spiked as far as tuna and stuff go. And the ikejime for us is kind of hard because there are times where we have 30, 40, 50 laying on the deck, and we got tangles over here. People need gaffs here. So it's hard for us to...
Because it takes time.
It definitely takes time. It's hard for us to do that to every single one. But if you're in your you're in your private boat, you're in a yacht, or if you're on these bigger boats and you have time, it's definitely worth it.
It makes a difference.
But the basics of just bleeding your fish and gilling, and gutting your fish is also great too.
Is the gilling
definitely a must?
Is the gilling and gutting just to get the heat out, or like do the guts out help the meat? I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but like
so taking out the gills and the guts when you put them down in the 35-degree refrigerated salt water, what that does is that colder water will get inside the cavity of the fish, so the fish will chill from the inside going out and also from the outside going in, so they get colder quicker, and it just helps them stay cold too. It's like if you if you packed your fish cavity full of ice and then you put it inside the cooler too, it'll definitely work the same way.
Helps cool the fish.
It definitely helps cool it on the inside out,
which makes a better product.
Exactly. Yeah. And then just on our 5:30 to 5 trips, when we do that on like some of these bigger ones that we catch and we're going home the same night, we get back to the dock and those 100+ pounders that we often sometimes catch are chilled all the way down.
Nice.
That's cool.
So it just speeds up the process.
Very good. Hey, let's jump back on the phones, Rick.
You got it, man. Everybody's dying to talk to Taro. How about this time we talk to Tom? He's called us from University City. Good morning, Tom. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning. Oh, I love the Liberty, so I love the show. Hey, I had a question about trolling for yellowfin. I've asked a few times over the years, but I've seen guys for bluefin trolling these spreader bars. I have a small boat with just 2 rod holders. Is there kind of equivalent thing where there's a spread that you can troll for yellowfin that you can just do with 2 rod holders without all the outriggers and stuff?
What we like for that yellowfin has been kind of a thing over the few years have been like a Rapala style lure. I forget what they're called, Rick. You probably know them in the tackle shop. All the guys buy them.
Yeah, made by Halco.
Yeah, it's a Halco lure. It's like and they have a couple different models. They have a shallow model, and they also have a deeper model. But we seem to have very good success on like these Halcos and these Rapala style lures. And those are what we drag almost exclusively throughout the whole year. And we've caught everything on those things.
Yellowfin,
even bluefin, bonitas, yellowtail. We troll by a kelp. We hook a yellowtail. So those Rapala style lures, those Halcos are probably some of the lures that we have. Oh, they are some of the lures that we have tied on 100% of the time, and we also throw those feathers out as also. So if you only have 2 rod holders, I would definitely have a Halco on or a Rapala style lure tied on, and then you have your a slide bait if you want to.
Are you guys trolling at just the call it the old school normal albacore trolling distance back?
7.5 to 9 knots. I mean those are lures that'll track wonderful at 9 or 10 knots as well too. So
like when in the era of that phenomenon of the skiff Mad Mac thing, everybody started putting trolling lures so far crazy back. Are you getting bit just standardly regular close to the boat?
We're standard, the length of the boat. If it's choppy out, we'll go a little bit further, 2 to 3 wakes back.
But you don't need to troll this thing crazy.
No, you don't need to have it a quarter mile behind your boat.
There you go.
Tom.
And then you think, too, like you've got it that far back, now you got to wind the whole thing back in.
Yeah.
Every time.
Whether
the fish on it or not.
Yeah. So, I mean, if those fish want
fish on it, they can fall off.
Yeah.
To way back there.
If those fish want it, they're going to eat it right off the scupper if they want to.
Yeah.
So. You don't have to be a quarter mile.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup with Captain Taro. You stay tuned at Southern California's sport fishing voice of the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Summer is here, and gas prices are going up. So now more than ever, you need Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. Pull up to the newly expanded Summit Gasoline and get low gas and diesel prices for your car, truck, and boat. They can now accommodate 24 cars and trucks to fuel at the same time, plus 12 diesel boats, plus 100 pounds of free ice with a minimum 35-gallon fill-up. Easy in and out, too. Step into the Summit Bistro and enjoy what Martha and her crew have for you on things you can use. Fresh-made burritos, sandwiches, salads, along with beer, beverages, and, of course, always free ice. So many Let's Talk Hookup listeners have taken advantage of Summit Gasoline's low prices, great service, and free ice. They have become the largest seller of fresh gourmet ice in Southern California. Summit also sells frozen bait and fishing licenses 24 hours a day. Summit Gasoline. Low prices, friendly staff, free ice, and easy in and out with your boat and trailer at the San Diego Sports Arena.
It's time to talk about Shimano. We've already been talking about Shimano. So what do we talk about? We talk about Tranks. We talk about Talica. We talk about Trinidad. I mean, they're all good, right? So when you go on the Liberty, What are you going to take? All of it?
Yeah, I mean, Taro said it best. There's never been a reel ever created that casts better than Trinidad A. Surface iron, fly lining your bait. There's never been a reel that's as user-friendly and casts fantastic like Tranks, especially in those scenarios where you're filling your reel full of Power Pro, having the centrifugal braking system, having the level wind, but still having power and castability. And then when it comes to big fish fishing, there's no reel like Talica. You get basically star drag casting performance, but crazy powerful gearing, great free spool, great drags. It's in a most sturdy frame across the board, man.
And now, could you improve a Talica? I guess Shimano did, because Talica A, 12 and 16 are now available. They are an improvement. Hard to believe you can improve perfection, but what a great Christmas gift. Talica, Trinidad, or Tranks at your local Shimano dealer.
As the inventor and world leader in fluorocarbon, Seaguar has you covered with 4-liter choices to help you catch more fish. Gold Label is Seaguar's thinnest and strongest leader. Fluoro Premier has a thin diameter with high break strength and softness. Blue Label is tough as nails with incredible abrasion resistance and impact strength. And Pink Label is the choice for tough light conditions. From 2 pounds to 400 pounds, pick up a spool of Seaguar at your favorite tackle dealer or visit Seaguar.com.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now with stores throughout Southern, Central, and Northern California. No one does it better. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find a location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. I want to remind you this portion of the show is sponsored by the Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Hey, coming soon is the all-new and easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. Plus, with the addition of the brand-new team members, they're going to continue to make Fisherman's Processing far ahead of the rest. More same-day capacity and the finest customer service. Stop by their current location in Old Town on Taylor Street or check fishermansprocessing.com. Phones are packed up. Again, if you want to get through, it's 213-432-1090, or keep going on that Let's Talk Hookup app.
Yeah, for sure. I have a great text here from John, and he's from the OC, and he says, when is the best time to catch big calicos and barracuda on the Liberty?
Ooh.
And so, we talk a lot about tuna, but don't forget calicos.
Forget the calico bass and the barracudas and the fundamental fish.
Yes.
And the fish that get everybody started. Calico bass fishing is probably one of my favorite local. And this wintertime sand bass fishing too.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun strategic fishing, and it's like in your face, like get them out of the rocks type fishing too. So it's pretty fun. Barracuda and calico bass, that springtime, May, June, July.
Especially when the calicos are on the spawn, May, June.
May and June.
Coronado
like
Islands.
The There's some places that are very good there.
Yeah.
Like in your skiff, you could get up in there close in most places.
But where's your favorite place to fish calicos on the Liberty?
On the Liberty, calico bass fishing, San Clemente.
San Clemente. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't done it a whole lot, but the places that we have done it, or the times that we have done it, it's been pretty fun. It's a pretty fun place. But locally, here, just to wake up and go, this Point Loma and La Jolla fishing's been pretty fun too. I've been doing that since I was a kid. So, and barracuda fishing, we haven't really seen that a whole lot over the last few years. But
it's been missing in our world.
It's been missing, I think with the amount of anchovies, it's been kind of missing as well too. I think that's the
There was more barracuda up in the north, like in Alpha, LA, and Orange County this year. So maybe the cycle's coming back around.
Coming back, That's probably some of the fishing that helps with learning to improve on your surface iron fishing. Because one, you can get bites, you're able to cast a whole lot, and you're able to just be able to fish and learn and learn how to fish the surface iron, know what a bite will feel like, know what to do when you get a bite, and people kind of give them a bad name along with the bonita, but those are great eating fish as well if you bleed them and chill them and keep them right. Out one of our cooks, Daniel, makes great barracuda ceviche. And
really?
It's some of the best ceviche I've ever had.
Huh.
Best I've ever had. And it's just like, holy smokes. And
That's barracuda?
And I don't eat fish.
Yeah. You don't eat fish.
I rarely eat fish, but I had to try it, and it was so good. You wouldn't even know it's barracuda.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Wow.
I like that.
Well, let's go ahead and jump back on the phones.
Yeah, you got it. How about this time we talk to Rich? He's calling us from Bradley this morning. What's up, Rich? Welcome to the show.
Merry Christmas. Well, speaking of barracuda, here's a little tip on serving barracuda that it was a real surprise to me. When I froze it, I put teriyaki sauce in my vacuum pack bags so that as it's freezing, it was marinating. And then when I barbecued it, it tasted like candy because it continued to marinate as I thawed it out. The reason I called was... Oh, yeah, you did try it. You won't believe it. I actually served some barbecued alongside some tuna, and everybody preferred the barracuda because of the teriyaki marinade. It was absolutely awesome. Yeah, and I didn't tell them what it was. I said, there you go. You want some of this or some of that? I'll have more of that. Oh, man, that was great. Anyway, the reason I called, you guys have been talking a lot about having the right gear, the right Shimano rods and reels for the Liberty. And you're also talking about springtime when you're fishing for calicos. And things can really switch on a dime sometimes in the spring. And I'm wondering, what is the best way to maybe have a clue by following what's going on the Liberty on a daily basis? Do you have a website or some resource that we can
Instagram is kind of where we keep up with everything. When we're fishing, we oftentimes have a daily post at the end of the day. We give everyone an idea of the things we caught and the type of life that we saw, and through social media is the best way, because it's a daily thing. If you follow the Liberty on Instagram, you'll be able to see our daily posts, and then we'll try to talk about fishing and tackle. If there's tackle recommendations, if we start to see bigger fish or you need this specific outfit, that's definitely the thing to follow for us there.
You guys do a really good job with it. I mean, it's something that we all follow in the tackle store just to even keep an idea. Like, it's basically every day, this is a rundown, this is what we caught, this is where we're going, or we're changing gears. Like, I mean, you guys, I think that's one of the best things about it is to answer Rich's question. You guys talk about what you did and what you caught and how you caught it, but you don't hide anything either on a day that you missed. It's just as much the same as like, hey, we looked, we missed, we're not going back there, we're going to switch gears, we're going to fish this place now. Yeah. Make sure you bring this tackle. Like, it's a really good follow if you're not doing it already.
All right, there you go. Hey, you have a good text, huh?
I thought so, yeah. It says, good morning, guys. Question for Taro. When you're marking fish on your up and down, when do you decide it's worth spending the time? When are fish too deep to react? What do you see when you're seeing fish on the sonar, etc.?
That's a really great question, because there's definitely times in the trip and times in the season where we have to run and gun, or we can stay put, and it's all just the feel of whoever's driving the boat, and this is on any boat, and that's just the trust that you put in the guy driving the boat, whether you're the crew or whether you're a passenger. And for me personally, it's definitely the feel, feeling what happened to stop beef before, or like what's been going on throughout the week, or how the fish have been acting, how the fish have been acting, or what I see visually in my eyes, or machine wise. There's times where you could tell, like, oh man, this is gonna be hard to get a bite, or holy smokes, they're kind of fluff. They're kind of like spread out and fluffed out. And the crew makes a joke because you can hear it in the urgency in my voice. Coming over the PA, or when I get excited, you start to hear me just rambling on like freaking out, and that's like when you might know like, oh man, this looks good. We might get a bite, or it's like, okay, we're gonna give this one a try, we're gonna give it a chance, but you just have to try it all because you never know. And that was something I learned from Brian Keohara. Was like, well, if you don't know, you just have to try, because now,
like when you say something like, I don't think this is going to happen, we're going to try it anyway. Well, give us a scenario on that. Is it a kelp? Is it a spot of fish?
It could be a kelp, because it could be a kelp. It could be a school, something that might look funny on the sonar, or like I might hear it and like not see it. We might be driving, and you kind of know you're near fish, or you might hear a few cracks on the sonar, and then if things might have been tough, okay, we're just going to try it, because
shut it down, get some baits in the water.
Get some baits in the water. It sounded right. Yeah. It might not have looked right, but there's times where fish can be sneaky too.
Sure.
And you just have to try and just kind of and just check it off the list. But that was something that I learned from Brian. I was like, if you don't know, you just have to try it.
Mm-hmm. Give it a try. It doesn't hurt to spend a few minutes.
It just doesn't hurt, because you never know.
Yeah.
And you can see in that, one-dimensional picture on your up and down, you said, when something's fluffed up or super tight or whatever, it gives you some indication of what it's going to do or not. It gives you some indication,
yeah. When the fish are active on the machines, you can see it.
Meaning just their mark, their signature
kind of
is
just
different.
the way they're moving on the machines, the depths that they're at, and that's just from looking at machines for 15 hours a day for, I think I did the math the other day, 23 years.
Wow.
So it's just like, holy smokes, like now it's like, okay, that looks good. Or now this nighttime fishing kind of gives you an idea of what they do at night too, and that's kind of cool. And we've just been so used to fishing in the daytime, and now you see them when they act at night. It's like, holy smokes, you just know.
That's cool.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, be sure to check out this week's edition of Western Outdoor News. Always loaded with great info and, always some good fish reports, both fresh and saltwater. A lot of hunting this time of the year and more. Check it out, this week's edition of Western Outdoor News. Let's jump back on the phones, Rick.
You got it, man. They're packed up. How about this time we talked to Chuck? He's calling us from Dana Point this morning. Good morning, Chuck. Welcome to the show.
Hey, you guys. Always a pleasure. What a great show. And one of my favorite boats of all time. You guys just gel together, It's just so finely tuned. And I know you've heard the story a couple times about Taro and his popper teaching that kid and then handing his tranks over to him and then just disappearing. And that was just so good. And then you ran into him bass fishing in El Cajon or somewhere. What a great story. But anybody that tells me they're going on there, I go, when you're signing up for your bunk, ask Chris about the burger bunk combo, because you're going to take a nap after that burger. That Colby burger puts you down. Well, Merry Christmas to you guys. And around the table there, how long is it going to take Rick to start getting a cuddy cabin? This summer, next summer? And how fun is it with you guys being fathers? I'm sure you're both great fathers, and I'm sure they got the Zebco reels already and everything. But, Ricky, it's time for a cuddy cabin. Merry Christmas to you guys.
It's been fun because Taro and Gina had Owen 3 or 4 months before we had Wyatt. So Taro was like my bud at work to oh man, what's coming, and Owen was like the gauge of whatever the next that 3 to 4 months is seems to be the time when something drastically changes, whatever it be, teeth coming in or this not sleeping or this whatever. So we were always pitching ideas. He's like, hey man, do this, do that. And it was just funny thinking about, a couple years before it was solely, hey man, they were biting this surface iron. We caught our fish here, over there. And then a couple years later it was like, hey man, try this sleep suit. This thing's awesome. These sleeps way better. And we've had a lot of fun.
Yeah. And now it's the reverse. You just had Waylon, and now Gina's pregnant. When's the new baby due?
We're due with our next one January 16th.
Oh, coming very soon.
Yeah, very soon.
A couple weeks, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. So you're ready.
Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of ready. I got to get the room ready.
Yeah.
Go do that right after this.
Yeah.
We're team no sleep.
Yeah. You guys are both
in a totally different way.
Yeah.
Thought bluefin fishing was tough, man. I'm really getting no sleep now. Hey, want to remind you, this portion of the show is sponsored by our great friends at Terrafin Sea Surface Temperature Charts. Focus your fishing on the most productive areas by using Terrafin Sea Surface Temperature, chlorophyll, currents, and more. With Terrafin Mobile, you can access your charts on your phone or by any mobile device. Check Terrafin.com for more information. There is not a person who fishes offshore for a living that doesn't have a current water chart. I can assure you that. It's the best money you're going to spend. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. Another full hour, including a catch report and a whole lot more with Captain Taro. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
Hello, anglers. It's not often second chances become reality when we are fishing. However, sometimes a second chance happens when you least expect it. This is Tim with Friends of Rollo, and several years ago we raffled off Rollo's custom CalStar jig stick. The winner, Cliff Friend, was a longtime supporter of the Rollo program, and the family has just donated this rod back to us. Friends of Rollo is going to give someone a second chance to own Rollo's personal jig stick. Entering Rollo's rod raffle is easy. Simply purchase a book of 2024 grand raffle tickets, and you will get an entry into the drawing. The winner will be drawn on December 24th. What better Christmas present to give yourself than a piece of fishing history? Books of tickets are $200, and Friends of Rollo will give each person that buys a book 5 tickets free. Tickets can be purchased by contacting us at win@rollokids.org or by calling 951-264-7382. On behalf of all of us at Friends of Rollo, good luck.
There are moments that change our perception of what is and isn't possible. Cosmic shifts where the stars align with the Earth to alter how we see the world. The release of King Tide is one of those moments. This is the crowning achievement of Costa's 40-year legacy on the water, the culmination of every innovation and lessons learned up until this point. Wins and losses and highs and lows have brought us here to stand witness to a legacy brought to life, to achieve the ultimate potential on the water. Costa King Tide, rule the water.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the long-range vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. Spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
In San Diego, the future belongs to everyone. So Ford engineered the truck of the future for everyone, the Ford F-150, available with a Pro Power onboard generator. What a great addition for anglers. There's also a variety of cab configurations for whatever you need to haul. The truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's created for us who love the ocean and the outdoor life. Ford F-150. Test drive one at your local San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.